Hello and welcome. Conservative View from New Hampshire is a daily podcast where we shine a light on the happenings of the day. Conservative View from New Hampshire is a proud partner of and contributor to the Liberty Loft. My name is Ray Cardello, and I'm your host for today's podcast. So let's get started with today's commentary for July 19th, 2022. This is episode 3 of season 11. Pay attention. Mandates are on the way. It is challenging to understand the motives of the people and entities pushing for COVID-related mandates. Part of the challenge comes from navigating through the mixed messages about COVID from the White House. If you look to the southern border and the continuous flow of illegals flooding across our border, there is no concern for COVID. Joe Biden fought to end Title 42, which was used to protect us from unvaccinated and untested people coming into the country. In arguing for the end of Title 42, the Biden team claimed we were no longer threatened by COVID, that the pandemic had ended. If you observe the president and his staff, the message becomes even more blurry. The president will come off Air Force One or Marine One wearing a mask. He will greet people at the bottom of the stairs, but first, he will remove the mask. What was the purpose, other than optics? Biden travels to the Middle East and defines a new method of greeting. He cautiously climbs down the stairs, and rather than the traditional handshake, he enthusiastically greets each person with a fist bump. The optic is so unpresidential that he appears to be greeting corn pop, not foreign dignitaries. By the way, the trademark aviator sunglasses add nothing to the image. The White House claimed the fist bump was because of COVID concerns. But then in some locations he shook hands and others got the corn pop fist bump. Very few of these people greeting the president were wearing masks. In fact, the concern. Very confusing, and the president is supposed to set the tone and direction for the country. The teachers' unions are already gearing up for a COVID power play as we approach the new school season. Both unions, the NEA and the AFT, adopted platforms in favor of mandatory masks and vaccines for all public school children. Why? You are sadly mistaken if anyone believes these groups are concerned about our children and education. These two groups are about power, political clout, money, and the transformation of America. And did I mention money? San Diego and Los Angeles have already adopted inside mask mandates. These people are not concerned about the flood of unknown illegals coming across the border in their backyard. These folks are not worried about the fentanyl and gangs crossing the border. These folks are only concerned about putting masks on our fragile young children. Dr. Fauci surfaced this week to announce he will probably retire before the end of Biden's first term. He also intimated that mandates are on the table and, depending on his interpretation of the data, could be enacted. The hint of these mandates is bringing out the protesters, and parents will not allow their kids to be masked without a fight. We have the data to show the negative impacts of the education system on our children since March of 2020, and parents will not stand for any further harm inflicted on their children by teachers and their unions. The Democrats are already looking at a tsunami in the midterms. They do so at their peril if they choose to play the mandate card for impact on the midterms. They may see it as they have nothing to lose. For after all, they already have Biden as a handicap. Thank you for joining me today. You have been listening to Conservative View from New Hampshire, a proud partner of the Liberty Loft. We hope you have enjoyed today's podcast and will share it with a friend. Until tomorrow, make the best of yourself and your day.